What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video for Saturday. It's 420, blaze it, whatever you want to call it. We are back with another video. We are going to break down the entire day. A little bit different than probably what you're used to and what you see on Twitter or X or wherever. Hopefully, we've earned your subscription to this YouTube channel. We do things a little bit differently. We're going to go through everything. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats. At the end of the video, we are going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. Every day we do 20,000 simulations. We're going to give you the top 20 bats after that. Then we're going to look at our initial prop bets that we like. So if you want to check that out, that'll be towards the end of the video. In the description of this video is today's article. It's also the link to our Discord, and it's also a link to our partner over at DFS Hero. And I've also got something in the works about a sponsored video. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Have never had a sponsor on an actual video. So if anyone has a YouTube channel that knows about this, maybe what I should say I charge for them, stuff like that, hit me up, dfshelp1@gmail.com. We have 2 giveaways every single day. First one, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. 100 likes, and you left a comment, a chance to win a free month of FTA+. 150 likes is a chance to win a free $200 year. 200 or more likes on any video, a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. The second way to do it, like the video, be a subscriber. Tell me who's going to hit a home run and what inning they're going to hit it in. You get both of those correct. Send a screenshot of your comment and the home run pick you had to dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1@gmail.com. And if you have a username on the website, let me know what your username is. If you do not, send me that screenshot and a username and email you would like, and we will get you set up for that free week. So what we're going to do first is we're going to see who won from yesterday's video. So if you go look at yesterday's video, you see how many likes are on that video, all the comments on that video. The more comments, the better the video could go. So that being said, let's check out who the winner of yesterday's contest is. And you can win every day, and you can come back and win the next day and the next day and the next day. Okay, we got Zach to the future. Ozuna, second inning was his comment. So see, your comment for the home run pick also is good for just your comment for this one. So Zach, if you see this, like the video and email me with a username and password you would like on the website, and we will get you set up for that free pass. It's literally that easy. So you guys can come back. Zach can come back tomorrow, the next day, the next day. Obviously, you guys can win until you get a lifetime pass. Then you can't win anything more than a lifetime pass. So congratulations again to Zach. If that's your name, I assume it is. Come back tomorrow, the next day, and check it out. FTA Plus. What is it? MLB, NBA, NASCAR, PGA, NFL once it comes back. Possibly MMA if you guys have a lot of interest in it. Let me know. But yeah, so in the description is this article, which coincides with today's slate as well. So you can definitely check that out. If you go under the MLB tab, we've got player projections, simulations, Vegas, batter splits, BVP. We've got it all for you. The cheat sheet, each position, we've got normally about 6 to 7 players at each position. And then outfielders, about 14 for cash. And we've got it all. We've got cash plays. We also have tournament plays for you as well. So that being said, we're going to take a look at this slate right now. So we go into here. First game on the slate, 1:05 Eastern, Zach Eflin versus Nestor Cortez. Tampa Bay at the Yankees. Eflin, 114 plate appearances, 260 batting average. Cortez, 87 plate appearances, 272. Both of them have been hit by these opposing teams, and we can kind of just look at the numbers and if we feel, we'll look at the numbers here. So we've got Eflin here, 4.63 ERA on the season, 20 Ks, 1-2 record. Did pretty well against the Angels. Did not very well against the Angels. Did well against Texas, and then did not do well against Toronto to start the season. This is kind of what we're looking at. The innings at home have been, he's only had one game on the road, had a 9 ERA on the road. Now he goes into Yankee Stadium, has to take on these Yankees. Tournaments, I'm always okay with taking a pitcher against tournaments if I'm making multiple lineups. So if I make, 20 lineups, Eflin will be in one. But the bats that I would look at for the Yankees against him would be Volpe at the top. Rizzo, I would look at Judge. He's kind of coming on a little bit. I would look at Oswaldo Cabrera if he is in there. A little bit cheaper option until they price him out of where he's at. Stanton has been heating up and hitting the ball very hard. Now he's at home. Would not be surprised. Now, we're going to build this out, and we're going to talk about this like there is no weather concern. If there are any weather concerns, those will be on the cheat sheet under the weather tab. We have the postpone percentage chance. We have in delay. We have the batter and pitcher ratings to see which batters and pitchers make the most sense. So, that being said, Eflin only averaging 13.8 fantasy points per game and being 9,300 is very expensive, and I just don't know if I like that. Then you got Nestor. My problem is Nestor's not going deep into games. 4 innings there, except one game against Miami, went 8 innings, getting about 5. The earned runs are there. The strikeouts are kind of there. 6 in back-to-back games. The pitches are there. So that was his problem. The first 2 innings of his the first inning of his first 2 starts, he was giving up 3 earned runs. Then he settles down. Had a fantastic game against Miami. We took him against Cleveland. They ended up losing that game. Gave up 4 earned runs in that game. So it depends. For price-wise, I'm okay with price-wise, but you could also look at Tampa Bay bats. Isaac Paredes, Harold Ramirez, Randy Arozarena against a lefty. Don't be shocked if a Tampa Bay stack makes sense, a Yankee stack makes sense. I think more so a Tampa Bay would make sense as a stack in tournaments. I think in cash, a Yankee stack and Cortez make a little bit more sense there for the first game. So then we go to the next game. We got Tigers at the Twins, Reese Olson versus Bailey Ober. I believe they just faced each other not long ago. Let's see, Reese Olson. No, he did not. So Reese Olson coming off a fantastic start against Texas, 6.1 innings, 1 earned run, 8 Ks. Does have a 3.86 ERA, 0-2 record, 14 strikeouts in 3 games. Kind of a low. 8 of those 14 came against Texas, which makes no sense because Texas should have hit him very hard. Now he goes up against Minnesota. Depending on the Minnesota lineup that comes out, he's had success. I mean, he's faced basically 1 start. Bailey Ober, on the other hand, 75 plate appearances, 239. We used Ober in his last start. And this is what I think I'll maybe a little bit different than what you're used to. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I am wrong, I am telling you I am wrong. This is baseball. I'm not going to get everything right every single time. If there are anyone out there that are saying they're 100% or they never lose, aka Vegas Dave, who banned me blocked me, by the way. He says he never loses. You lose. You are not 100%. If I won every time, if I was correct on every single call, I would not be making these videos because I would be a trillionaire right now. I'd be the world's first trillionaire. But neither here nor there. We see Bailey Ober just faced this Tigers team his last start. We did take him. 6 innings there, no earned runs. But the problem, the Ks are low. 3 Ks in that game. 17.7 fantasy points. So he's had 2 good starts. And then he absolutely got demolished by Kansas City the first series of the year. But Kansas City was hitting very well. So looking at that, I don't mind Ober for tournaments. I got to see more. We've got to get at least 5 strikeouts to make it worth our while. He's 7,000, so he has gone up 4,000, but he is cheap. He makes sense. And we look at this with other options here. I don't mind him out of all the other options. Bats-wise, none of the bats really jump out to me right now. I'll wait till the simulations have run, and maybe some of the bats will jump out. So that's the difference. Sometimes we'll have bats that make sense. Sometimes they don't. We'll wait for simulations. On top of that, if you want to see more, those are on the website under all of the MLB content. So you can definitely check that out right there. We do have 2 coupon codes left for the yearly pass, normally $199. If you use the promo code BIRTHDAY, all one word, all capital letters, while signing up for FTA Plus yearly pass, you will get $100 off. The next 2 people, that is it. We will have no more after that. So if you've been interested, if you've been thinking about it, go ahead and try that. So both of these pitchers I think are cash or tournament pitchers today. I don't really trust them in cash enough. I think they are tournaments. Now we got the Brewers at the Cardinals, DL Hall versus Miles Mikolas. Obviously with DL Hall, they don't face each other a lot. He's only faced 5 plate appearances, so not much going on. Then Mikolas here, 53 plate appearances, 592 batting average, which we don't like. That is a high batting average, so we can look at this. I don't believe Mikolas has faced them this year yet. Looking at his game logs, Arizona, 4.2 innings, 5 earned runs. He comes in with a 5.82 ERA, 1-2 record, 15 Ks. I would not be paying up for him. I mean, I'm paying down, I guess, 5,900. Yelich is out, so that is a big bat that's out of that lineup. But you still got William Contreras to deal with, Rhys Hoskins to deal with, Willy Adames, Jackson Churio you could look at, Bryce Terang. I don't mind a Milwaukee stack today. Cardinals side, since DL Hall really haven't seen him, we could look at him. He's 5,500, so he is cheap. Game log wise, 3.1 innings against Baltimore, 5 earned runs. Against Seattle, 3 earned runs. Against the Mets, 2 earned runs. 7.11 ERA. I would be taking, honestly, I don't want anything to do with these pitchers. I would look at bats. So we already went over the Milwaukee bats. St. Louis bats, Arenado, Goldschmidt. You could be looking at Brendan Donovan. Just really, Mason Wynn. Just depends on the lineup that comes out. I don't mind stacking in this one. I don't like these pitchers. There are other pitcher options that we have on this slate. I think we can go away from them. Tournaments, you can always throw them in a tournament. I don't trust them enough. I'm not going to be doing it. They are cheap. So if you want to do a punt lineup with these pitchers, both of them, one of them, I'm okay with that. But I would rather focus on the bats on both sides than I would taking either of the pitchers today. So we go to the next game. Marlins at the Cubs. The Jesus Lizard, yet again, he has risen versus we don't know right now. So this is the problem. We're getting, for the past, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, we've got the opener situation going on. And we used to know which pitcher was going 2, 3, 4 days prior because it was every 5 days. Then we get the whole, is it going to be Javier Assad? We don't know. That's who DraftKings thinks. So we look at that, and it should be because he last pitched on Sunday against the Mariners. Did well, 5.2 innings, got the W, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. He's getting 5 to 6 Ks here, and we just saw what they were able to do to this lineup. What Amanaga was, and I love Shota Amanaga, stud. But looking what he was able to do to this Marlins team, I don't believe Assad should have any trouble, especially at 7,900. I'm 100% okay with that, and I would look at taking batters. I know the numbers here, Lizardo, the Jesus Lizard, 62 plate appearances, 189. The Cubs are hitting very well right now. This is a fact. They're hitting super well. I would be looking at Assad if it is in fact him, and I would be looking at the Cubs bats. Depending on who it is, Nico Horner, you could look at Chris Morel. I don't mind Cody Bellinger. Michael Busch has been absolutely on fire right now. I would focus on the Cubs bats here against Lizardo, and I would look at Assad if it is in fact Assad, because you see him at 7,900, and then we see, they've got Munez. Oh, there's 2 games here. This is the one where this is where we don't know. So they're playing 2 games. One of these games will be on the slate. It will be this game on the slate. So this is where you could get screwed over. If it is Lizardo, I would take the Cubs bats against him, and I would take Assad against them. If for whatever reason they flip-flop and say this here and there, second game, don't get screwed over. There are a lot of people that do get screwed over by this. So when you build that out, be very cautious of which pitcher is going to go with what game, because this game will not be on there. I fully expect it to be Assad and Lizardo for the first game, but we can get tricked. So use that information as you will. We'll skip this game right now. Then you got the Astros at the Nationals. Blanco versus Trevor Williams. I would not take Trevor Williams. I would stack the Astros. Really doesn't matter. Tucker, Jordan, Altuve, McCormick, Myers, whoever's in the outfield, you could look at them. Jose Abreu's cheaper, but he really hasn't done anything for us. And then Blanco, it's crazy. 8,700 against Texas. I mean, he's gone at least 6 innings. He obviously had a no-hitter here out of nowhere, had a no-hitter. Comes in with a .86 ERA, going up against one of the, if not the worst teams in the major leagues, in the Washington Nationals. I would look at Blanco. I would also look at the Astros. I don't want anything to do with Trevor Williams. I don't want anything to do with the Nationals bats. And that's probably a pretty easy build around. This game is very surprising that the Dodgers are playing a 4:05 Saturday game. We're used to the night games. Jose Buto versus to be announced. They're thinking it's going to be Gavin Stone. We look at this. He last pitched Sunday, so it would make sense unless they skip him or push him back a day. That's something to look at. But Stone, 3.68 ERA, 1-1 record, 15 Ks, getting about 5 Ks a game, 4, 5, and 6 there, so averaging about 5. Then we look at this. The problem is, against the Cubs, he gave up 5 runs. Only one of them earned, but only went 3 innings. His last start against San Diego, 6.2 innings. I believe that was Saturday. Yeah, last Saturday. So, he's done well there. He's 8,200, so he is up in price, but the Mets are the Mets. I would love this game more if it were in New York, because Citi Field is way better of a pitcher park, but we'll still take Gavin Stone as long as it's him. And then Buto, you could go tournaments because no one will be on him. He is 6,300 though, but he does have a .75 ERA in 2 starts. He's gone 6 innings, and both of those starts, he's given up 1 earned run. Tournament-wise, I am 100% okay with this. But again, it is going up against the Dodgers. So we've seen the Dodgers lose. They lost the series to the Cubs. They lose games, but they are a very good hitting team. So tournaments, I'm okay with you taking Jose. Cash, no way. Mets bats, unless something pops up on the simulations, none jump out to me right now. And if you don't go with Buto and you go with any of the Dodgers bats, literally almost any of those bats make sense. So I don't really need to go through the Dodgers bats. So on our cheat sheet, we'll have every position. Then we have our top 10 stacks on the bottom of the front page of the cheat sheet. If you've never seen them before, just scroll down. They are there. Next game, Red Sox at the Pirates. We get over here. Red Sox at the Pirates. Cutter Crawford versus Mitch Keller. Now, this is where I was wrong. I was all over stacking against Mitch Keller. His last start did not work out for me. Cutter Crawford. So basically, they've each seen the other team 1 start total. But both of these pitchers have been pretty good. 8,000 for Crawford. Comes in with a .42 ERA. He's had 4 starts. He's gone 5 innings, all but one of those starts. He's got about the minimum of 5 Ks. I don't mind him here. 8,000 against Pittsburgh. I like that. I like it better since it is in Pittsburgh and it is not it's not at home. .42 ERA, no win, no loss, 24 Ks, .80 WHIP, 20.8 fantasy points per game. So I've had this before, but what are we looking for? You're looking for basically minimum 2.5 to 3 times value. So 8,000 times 2.5 or 8,000 times 3. So we're looking for right around 20 to 24 fantasy points, and he's averaging 20.8. So he's in that range. For tournaments, obviously you need more than that, but that's basically the minimum. The minimum would be about 2.5. I'm thinking about doing a couple of videos on like strategies for cash or strategies for tournaments. If you think that's a good idea and you're still listening, let me know down below. But we look at that, and then we look at Mitch Keller. I was all over stacking him against Philly last time. Gave up 2 earned runs, 7 innings, had 4 strikeouts. So the strikeouts were low, but the fantasy points did not come from one of our, I think that was our favorite stack. But yeah, I mean, he makes sense. Boston is very up and down. Their best hitter, Tyler O'Neill, he's out. He's on the IL right now. So looking at that, none of these bats jump out to me either. I think both of these pitchers are fantastic options. I think both are cash or tournament. I won't fault you for either way. I really just don't like the bats as of now in this one. Then we move to the Diamondbacks at the Giants. Zach Gallen versus Kyle Harrison. Gallen has seen him before, seen him enough. He is a stud pitcher, striking out 25.8% of those batters. In San Francisco, which you guys know I love me Zach Gallen. My favorite pitcher on the slate, the pitcher of my top pitcher, the picture of the article, and the picture of this video is Mr. Zach Gallen. Flip side of that, Kyle Harrison never faced these batters before, but we go into here. He is 8,600. We know that Arizona hits lefties well. He gave up 8 hits and 3 earned runs. He's given up earned runs in every single game. 4.7 ERA, only 19 strikeouts in four starts. Goes about, minimum 5 innings, but six innings is 3 of his 4 starts. I would still look at San Francisco to get dominated. I would look at Zach Gallen, and I would look at the bats for Arizona. I would look at Christian Walker, who murders lefties. Same thing with Ketel Marte. Same thing with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. I would look at them. Corbin Carroll still hits lefties well. Jock Peterson, if he's in there. Randall Grichuk is a cheap option if he is in there as well. So that is what I would look at. I would definitely be looking at Gallen, and I would definitely be looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks as a stack. I'm going to fade. Now, again, I could be right or wrong, but I'm going to fade San Francisco bats, and I'm going to fade Kyle Harrison. And that's the main slate. So the main slate starts at noon. That's the main slate done. Now we get to a 4-game afternoon. Okay, so that is the main slate. So then you've got the turbo slate or the night slate. I really don't know why, like Saturdays, the slates are like this. Usually we got a bunch of Saturday night games. Might be because, it's early in the season and it's still cold places. So looking at this, White Sox at the Phillies, you got Michael Soroka versus Zach Wheeler. Soroka, 35 plate appearances, 265 batting average. Wheeler, 55 plate appearances, 265 as well. Both right around 20 K percentage. Soroka is the cheapest on the slate at 5,400. Tournament-wise, he would make sense, but he comes in with this almost 7 ERA, 1.9 fantasy points against the Reds, 5 earned runs. Against Cleveland, 4 earned runs, 3.5 fantasy points. Kansas City, 6 hits, only 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, 9.9, so his best outing, but they lost 10-1. And then Detroit, 5 innings there, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, no strikeouts, minus 2.8. I'd be looking at Philly bats. I would not be surprised if Schwarber leads the game off with a home run. I would love Bryce Harper here. Wouldn't be surprised if he has multi-home runs in this game. Like, nothing would surprise me. I would definitely be looking on this slate right here. I'm off of Soroka. I would be looking at Philly as the top stack. There's not a ton to love here. I love Zach Wheeler against Chicago. Again, you know me, and you've been here before. You know that for the most part this season, if you've taken a pitcher against the White Sox, you've done very well for yourself. I don't think it changes today. I look at Wheeler. I don't look at Soroka. I look at Philly as a stack. Doesn't matter. Look at the lefties first, but then you can still, if you need, 5 players on DraftKings for a stack, completely okay with that. Athletics at the Guardians, Alex Wood versus Logan Allen. I would love this game to be in Oakland. Oakland's actually put up some runs lately. Tournament-wise, I could see you going with Oakland as a stack, but I kind of like Logan Allen here. Basically 1 start, 24 plate appearances, 29.2 K percentage, 190 batting average. I would look at Logan Allen here. He's 7,700. Game log-wise, didn't do much against the Yankees, didn't do much against the White Sox. Like I said, the majority of the pitchers against the White Sox, you've probably done pretty well. Did very well against Seattle and faced Oakland. His first start, 5 innings there. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with that. Since there are only 4 games, it's basically tournament anyway. Middle of the tier, middle here. Didn't do well in Oakland. Tournaments, I'm okay with him. Cash, I would not in a 3-game slate here. I would not like that at all. And to be honest, I don't know if I'll be playing much of this slate. I might make a lineup, but we'll definitely talk about that. We've got Sandoval versus to be announced, but it should be Graham Ashcraft. DraftKings says it is, and my Yahoo season-long app says it is because he just pitched on Sunday. So I do love Ashcraft here. I picked him up in my season-long. He shoved against the White Sox. This is another one I'm talking about on Sunday. Problem is, I wish he'd go more than 5.2. This would be his 4th start. We look at this. I love him here. Like, there's not a ton of great options, and I think that makes it pretty self-explanatory that I would be looking at in this slate here. I'd be looking at Wheeler and Ashcraft, maybe a little bit of Allen, maybe Patrick Sandoval, but taking a pitcher against Cincy at home usually has not fared well. So that is what I would look at. Baltimore, Kansas City is not on any slate, must be its own separate game for Saturday, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so this early slate would not use Soroka. Really don't want any Alex Wood. I would use Logan Allen, Sandoval for tournaments. I would use Ashcraft and Wheeler for both tournaments and cash. I would definitely be looking at the Phillies as a stack. I would definitely be looking at probably Cincinnati as a stack, and you could look at Cleveland as a stack as well. And then Baltimore Royals, Corbin Burns versus Cole Reagans. For whatever reason, this game's not on the slate. And then this is the actually, give me a second. Okay, so we do have some other games. For whatever reason, in my mind, I was thinking it was Sunday night baseball, and we only had one game. It's Saturday. Corbin Burns versus Reagans. Reagans has been very good. I think people would be off of him. 32 plate appearances against the Orioles. .074. He's dominated. 31.3 K percentage. I think everyone would look to be on the Orioles because everyone knows the Orioles are great. Cole Reagans has had their number. Corbin Burns, on the other hand, 77 plate appearance, 219. You're going to be paying up for him. The Royals have been hitting very well. I could see both sides here. I love me Reagans. Tournaments, which is weird. Tournaments, I'm okay with Corbin Burns because he is a stud. But on the flip side of that, the way the Royals have been hitting, you could look at Pasquantino, you could look at Nelson Velasquez, Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez. These are the bats that Michael Garcia. These are the bats I would look at. Tournament-wise, both of these teams are great. But yeah, I love Cole Reagans here, and I think people will be off of it. Then we got the Rangers at the Braves. You got Nate Eovaldi versus Charlie Morton. Eovaldi, we did not use him Sunday night because he didn't have good numbers against Houston, and it showed why. But against the Braves, 77 plate appearance, 268 batting average, 28.6 K percentage. On the flip side of that, Morton, 72 plate appearances, 262. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with both of these guys. But we know that both of these teams hit very well. So bats-wise, if we're looking at Texas bats, Corey Seager, Simeon, Carter, Duran, Adolis Garcia, you could look at. Flip side of that, Charlie Morton. We're looking at Braves. Acuna finally got his home run out of the way. We're good there. Ozzy Albies is out, so that will bump people up. But you've got Arcia, you got Matt Olson. Depending on who starts, you've got Duvall, you've got Ozuna. There's a lot to like about both of these offenses. I'm probably going to fade these two pitchers and just look at the offenses there. Then we got the Mariners at the Rockies, Castillo versus Freeland. It's a Coors game. You look into this. Castillo had a great start, his last one against the Cubs. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. But he comes in with a 5.82 ERA, 0-4 record. Tournaments, you could go Castillo because no one will be on him because it's in Colorado. He is a stud pitcher, but he has been giving up a ton of earned runs. I don't know why, but he has. 2 against the Cubs, 4 against Toronto, Cleveland, and Boston. Then he goes into Coors, which, not the best, but they've dropped his price down to $8,200 because it is in Coors. So a 2-game weird little slate like this, I think people will be off of him because it is Coors. I'm okay with that. And then I absolutely love, was it going to be Freeland or is it going to be Davis? Oh. Now Freeland's hurt with an elbow. Okay, so Freeland's out. So then you got Noah Davis at 5,900. Don't really know much about him. So Kyle Freeland is in fact out. So that would take away the Seattle stack a little bit. But you could still look at a Seattle stack because it is Coors. But if it's Noah Davis at 5,900, tournament-wise I'm okay with, but I'm not going really anywhere past that. Castillo for tournaments, Mariners for bats, I could see, depending. Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Crawford, just depends on the lineup that comes out. And then the final game, Blue Jays at the Padres. This is a pitcher's park. It looks like it's going to be Jose Barrios versus Randy Vasquez, who was sent over in the trade for Juan Soto. If it is him, maybe he gets called up. Just kind of look. That's something to look at. I probably wouldn't use him. I would look at Toronto bats. Barrios, 78 plate appearance, 200 batting average. Again, 2-game slate. I'm probably not playing much of it. But you got Barrios here, 105 ERA. Looks vastly different than what he did last year. Yeah, he looks good. He's had one bad start. The rest have been 21 plus fantasy points. He's 8,600 going in a pitcher's park. I don't mind him. Again, though, you know that the Padres can put up runs easily. But yeah, I would definitely look at Barrios on this 2-gamer right here. So there you go. That's the breakdown, the batters, the pitchers. We've got it all for you. Now we're going to give you the top 20 bats. So get a paper, pen, whatever you need. These are the top 20 after 10,000 simulations. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start updating this on the website. When I run these videos, that's the first portion. And then what I'll do is I will update them. I usually update everything about 2 hours before first pitch. And that way we can build lineups out there and it gets you out there ready to go. So here we go. Jose Altuve, number 1 against Trevor Williams. Number 2 is Jordan. Number 3 is Schwarber. Number 4 is Bryce Harper. 5 is Bregman. 6 is Matt Olson. 7 is Mitch Haniger. 8 is Cal Raleigh. 9 is J.P. Crawford. 10 is Jose Ramirez. 11 is Mitch Garver. 12 is Brandon Marsh. 13, Chas McCormick. 14, Josh Rojas. 15, Bo Naylor. 16, Adley Rutschman. 17, Aaron Judge. 18, Marcus Semien. 19, Julio Rodriguez. And number 20 is Austin Riley. So those are your top 20 batters. Now, we do look at some of these prop bets. Now, depending on when you watch this video, this is why I'll tell you, hit the bell notification so you guys see when these videos go live so you can get on these same odds. Because by the time you watch this video, depending on when it is, the odds have probably changed already. So you can kind of see and you can kind of compare them. But home run, ones that jump out to me right off the bat, Matt Olson against Eovaldi, plus 408 right now. Yordan Alvarez is plus 418. Somehow Bryce Harper is 549 and Kyle Schwarber is 585. I could see both of them hitting 2+ home runs tonight. Then we've got a Colorado game here. Mitch Haniger at 619, Mitch Garver at 630, and Cal Raleigh at 630. But these were against Freeland. So it's not updated yet. Those were against Freeland by the time I started this video, and now Freeland's been out. So that's definitely something to look at. Jose Ramirez against Alex Wood is plus 755, which is wild to me right now. Then we look at pitcher strikeouts. So over under, depending on where you're at, they got Miles Mikolas at plus, or the line is at 2.5. I do think he gets rocked, but he should be able to get 3 strikeouts in this game. 2 is Reese Olson at 4+ strikeouts. Zach Wheeler is over 6.5 strikeouts. Cole Reagans is 4.5, so we need 5 out of him. And then you could look at another one right now is Zach Gallen. Over 4.5 is only 199. That's some great value there. So we need 5 strikeouts for Gallen in a pitcher's park in San Francisco. That's what I've got. Those are some of the batters we like with prop bets. We have other prop bets on the website, so definitely check that out. Those are the breakdowns of the pitchers, the hitters, the prop bets, everything. If you found the video helpful and useful, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, and come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Good luck on this slate, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!